We have so we have 1 hour. I think we can safely continue till 1 o'clock. A quick, because maybe some people don't know each other, so yeah, let's name and where you working. I'm Shubham, I work with Srijat.
Hi, I'm Shahrukh. I'm with Axis Bank Foundation from Mumbai.
My name is Madhav, I'm from New Organization Company.
My name is Nicole and I work with the Reliance Foundation.
I am Sunil Ganesh, I work with Five Photo Corporation.
I'm Devi Prasad Mishra from Myanmar.
Ketan Kothari from Rajasthan, work for Pratham and Media House.
I am Ranu Gopal, currently independent.
I'm Vijay Singh from Econ Technologies. I'm Sujit Divani from Government Development Services.
I'm Ashwani from CISS Mumbai.
I'm Padan Jain from Delhi.
Ramesh Shah from the World Bank.
आप लोग भी
We have veterans of many seasons and I was just thinking.
The easiest thing is to be the
You're the leader of the
I
already.
don't have to speak. Three questions. We will try and respond to them. What kind of person is most likely to make this program effective? I presume it is not about just the leadership. It
No,
could be
no.
any person.
At various levels, maybe at the field level, at the district level.
And what kind of organization or organizational image or brand you want to create to attract such a person. So maybe we can share some preliminary ideas and then get into trying to flesh out some more involved ideas. Would it be alright if we just do a first round of any initial thoughts that you would like to share?
I think that the thought behind this question of what we try to address in the book also is that we're finding it more and more difficult to attract good talent. But the question itself we are asking here is, what is the talent that we are looking for? Are we looking at people with degrees? Are we looking at people with, high grassroots level experience? Are we looking at people with academic kind of experience? Are we looking at people from within the government who can fill these roles? Are we looking for people who are coming from the open market, so to say? Are we trying to attract or poach people from other NGOs who have some experience, who can then come and work for such projects or for some other NGOs? Or are we also looking at trying to develop, as some of the speakers said already, trying to look at people who are working, who are at the very close to the community, maybe graduates from small colleges, small villages, and are we looking to attract them? So these are some of the questions that we try to look at during the process of writing this for people. What has happened? What has been your experience to attract them?
I think first we need to identify what this person is too vague for me. Because we eventually talk of people coming in teams, whether they are project implementation or any of these teams. So what kind of, are we talking of an individual who is working directly with the community or person who is located say at the district level? So let's get, there are different types of people required for those different roles. Person who is very good with community may not be very good in the district office. So or at the state level. So I think that clarity is required because the way we keep talking of this rather vague person.
Maybe too broad. One, some people, because cutting edge, we need to look at what kind of people are required to work directly with the community. Maybe we can have a discussion on that, and then maybe look at people who play more managerial kind of role. I'll come from the, let me put my thoughts on that. I'll come from the managerial side of things. I think most problem comes is there, if you look into the structure of delivery of programs. The major problem is there where we are looking at people who not necessarily by the choice of profession or education want to work in that particular sector, but just chosen to work in that sector because of some various reasons, attractions of various kinds. Basically just to get a degree,
the motivation, then obviously the lack of interest remains there. Then if you look into the mid-tier professionals that we are looking at coming from these institutions, the obvious choice and then they became not working on the ground but trying to move back to the foundations and the grant making and UN activations. And you see the pattern very, very clearly in almost everybody of them. And then of course, not having that experience at that level completely destroys the program at the higher level. The quality of the programs that are being implemented these days, if you see the quality, that itself talks about the kind of leadership that has gone up in the value chain, not actually down to the value chain. So I think the most important thing that we're looking at for the success of the program is the interest level, self-interest level of a person, or conviction of a person in the program or the work or the profession that the person is chosen to, if that is there or not. And that has nothing to do with education. It doesn't come from education. It's more or less comes from personal motivation. What are those personal motivations? Maybe from family background. It comes from those personal motivations. It definitely doesn't. Our education system, even from ISMAs and IFMs and other things, are totally failed in inculcating that understanding in the profession. So I think it's more about very, very basic level we are talking about. If that is there, then we can even think about some level of accessibility.
I think it would be good to perhaps think in terms of the level of development. The range can you would not know what one is saying or keeping what in mind. There, I would also submit that we must keep in mind we're talking about a generation which is some people say generation Y. It has very many positives, but it also has a lot of negatives. One of the negatives is the attention span is very small. There is not enough stomach for an involved kind of understanding, engagement, and such other things. Quick, small package, things that work. There is that kind of attractiveness is there. I would also share right now, I'm in the middle of taking a course at an institute. It's a hardcore management course called marketing management. I go in and say I have spent my lifetime as a development sector consultant in doing courses in public system development organization. I'm just 15 years because I find our students have very poor understanding of market. And today, I don't want anyone to go out with any kind of lack of understanding about marketing. I begin by saying, well, let's learn marketing the way Procter & Gamble does. They are the best. Let's use it for the narrative. Believe you, I find large proportion of our students are completely uninterested about how FMCG marketing is done. They are talking more in terms of, can we think in terms of their products that we can design, which will help their sarpanch plan and implement and control in a retail. I do not think that interest is lacking. We do try and figure out how to work with them. We do face process at the time of when they're going to organization. There is second part, the organizing ability to keep their interest and keep them going. And also there is something that needs to be there. I would just put, and we also need to keep in mind, and it's provocative, but I must say, that we are talking about in a larger context, but there is complete absence of any social security. Everybody talks about social security for the poor, but if you are outside that deadline, there is no social security. There is, and we're talking about a country context where numbers are growing, population, but there are more number of people available for employment than actually all employment sectors together can absorb. Now, employability and such other things are a different question. In this context, choices are getting made. And third, again, very provocatively, as you will say, I find there is nothing in our up to our college education that perhaps prepare anybody to think of anything other than being myself and myself. any kind of a predisposition that which we are looking at, these are exceptions, not because of the system. There will be a lot of people who may have predisposition for certain type, certain kind of attitude and values they may exhibit, the more because of societal values, not because of the kind of education that they have received in college. And at a postgraduate level, we do have to work with these kind of conditions.
I would like to share my experiences in terms of developing people in terms of working for organization in Rajasthan. In about the year 2000, for the last 15 years, I've been welcomed to evolve an organizational structure and human resource strategy in terms of taking education, skill building, and employment as the main focus of our work. And basically, three levels of people that we deal with. One is the community resource person level, which is more like volunteer to paid, not unpaid kind of volunteer, but that's the number. Over the last 10 years, 15 years, we must have had more than 20,000 volunteers we have dealt in Rajasthan as a personal part of the education program. We have second level, which is really trainer monitor, which is more like supervisory level personnel. And there are a large number of people we get recruited from colleges, universities, and different places. And the third level is program leaders, which would be kind of managers and that sort. And I think one of the important lessons we have learned at the level of community resources that if you really select people in the programming content in which they are tied up, they are the most real contributors, young people, in terms of planning and implementing the programs which are based for community development or community education efforts. We have mostly recruited, for example, we used to divide urban areas, rural areas in terms of communities of 250 families or 300 families. We would recruit most of the community resource persons, volunteers from that community, train them, and engage them in the kind of educational and development program that's required. And I think it is a tremendous contribution to the kind of people who came to as a volunteer force in terms of their own development, and also they're acquiring the kind of leadership and communication skills at that level is an enormous. I cannot imagine the coming from the poorest families, a young girl who's been doing high school or intermediate level, working for 4 hours a day for about 250 days a year, and after 2 years, the